I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The BRR All-Star event from Darlington. Richie Joplin and Matt Schlosser on the front row. Mark Nelson and Mark Dantuma on the second row. Austin Ruskoff, Donald Durantz have the third row. Nicole Kriesel, Kyle Holden on the fourth row. Gerald Poole, Stephen Gibson on the fifth row. Zach Henson and Troy Downing rounding out the field. "12 drivers take to the track, but only one will be crowned the BRR All-Star here tonight." Several drivers not getting gridded up. They've only got a few seconds left to get it done. "120 laps, 3 random competition cautions. Unlimited tires and only 3 fast repairs." Joe, I'm glad you like it, buddy. Stephen Gibson, Zach Henson, Troy Downing did not take the grid. Joe, there's always a possibility. Now, we have no idea when the competition cautions will be flown. Only one man is aware of it, so that could make things very exciting. Here we go. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. They are underway at the BRR All-Star Race. Richie Joplin clears traffic into the lead. Mark Nelson quickly slides up into second. Both Richie and Mark have wins at Darlington. Holy cow, Ruskoff got way loose out of turn 2. Ruskoff is back up on track and rolling. No caution, but man, not the way Austin wanted this one to start. There's Austin on the bottom. They go off into the turn. Just see the back end stepping out. He almost saves it, but then ends up slamming the inside wall. Quickly recovers it, but that damage might be a bit of a setback. Richie still out front. Mark Nelson and Matt Schlosser sitting second and third. He did not qualify, but Kyle Holden already marching his way through the field up to fourth. Mark Dantuma in fifth. Gerald Poole also did not qualify, up into sixth already. Although word has it, Thanos did not get a nap between the 24 hours and this race. While this is one of his good tracks, he is very tired tonight. In this field, though, a lot of 24-hour drivers. Richie Joplin, Mark Nelson, Mark Dantuma, Gerald Poole, Nicole Kriesel, Austin Ruskoff. Those drivers we know for a fact ran the 24 hours of Daytona, all of them likely exhausted. Matt Schlosser in third, now has Holden just 2 seconds back. Kyle gaining ground, Mark Dantuma back in fifth. Gerald Poole in sixth, still right with Dantuma. Donald Durant's in seventh, Austin back in eighth. Nicole closing in on Austin at the moment. Richie Joplin has about a 6/10 of a second lead over Nelson and Schlosser. Holden about 2 1/4 seconds back. As about 7 laps into the race and lap time starting to dip. Time's definitely starting to get a bit slower, as Darlington is known for eating tires like crazy. This often comes down to who can save the tires the best. Mark Dantuma back in fifth, Gerald Poole in sixth, still within striking distance. Top 6, all within about 5 seconds right now. Anything could happen to bring them all back together at any moment. But Richie starting to pull away yet again. His lead now almost a full second over Mark Nelson. Don't count Mark out yet. He is known for saving tires, giving up a little time early on to make up a lot of time late in the run. Mark Dantuma, the only driver on track that knows which laps the competition caution will come out. We do know we will get one between 20 and 10 laps to go, and they will be giving waiver rounds all night to anybody who goes a lap down. That will allow the field all to stay on the lead lap, giving everybody a shot at the win. Richie's lead now 1.4 seconds over Mark Nelson. Matt Schlosser staying right in Mark's tire tracks. Kyle Holden is starting to gain a bit of ground now, 1.7 seconds back and closing. Austin Ruskoff, despite his early incident, has moved back up into 8th, having gotten past Double D and Nicole. But he is still almost 9 seconds behind 6th place Gerald Poole. Gerald still right behind Mark Dantuma, and at the moment, Gerald is the faster of the two. Kyle Holden creeping closer and closer to the top three. He is now 1 second out of third place. Richie Joplin's lead now 1.1 seconds over Mark Nelson. Matt Schlosser in third. Kyle Holden has just about caught him. He is within range. He's getting a little bit of help from the draft and closes up quickly. It is early on. I doubt Schlosser's going to fight Holden too hard on this one. Kyle Holden slips by, takes third. Gerald Pools continues to inch closer and closer to Mark Dantuma. Dantuma has struggled the last couple of weeks. Not the speed we have seen out of him in previous seasons. Hey, good evening, Wild Bill. Why aren't you here tonight? "20 laps in, the field starting to separate itself. Richie, though, is under attack. Mark Nelson is closing in, and Kyle Holden is gaining ground back behind. Holden now 1.8 seconds back. Oh, Wild Bill, bring it to me and I'll fix it. Matt Schlosser now in fourth. Mark Dantuma and Gerald Poole are gaining ground on Schlosser. Dantuma has actually pulled a little bit of a gap on Gerald. Austin Roscoff back in seventh has started gaining some ground on Gerald as well. Oh, Austin getting a stripe. And about to have a battle for the lead, Mark Nelson has caught up to Richie Joplin. How many times did we see this battle in 2024? We saw it here in BRR. We saw it in Home Motorsports. A lot of back and forth between these two drivers. Mark tries to make the attack coming out of turn 4. Didn't have the momentum he thought he did. While these two battle, Kyle Holden 2.8 seconds back at the moment, trying to use that battle to reel him back in. Lap traffic ahead could play a factor. Mark has a run underneath. Drag race down the front straightaway toward turn 1. Oh! Little bit of door banging going into turn 1, and a lot of door banging coming out of 2. Wow. Both drivers managed to hang on to it. Down the back straightaway into turn 3. Mark has the nose ahead. And here comes Kyle Holden. Mark finally clears into first. Richie into second. Now has to deal with Kyle Holden, who came from 2 seconds back to the back bumper. Oh, Richie kisses the wall, getting his first Darlington stripe of the night. And Holden shoots by into second. And our first caution of the night is out. And it does appear this is the first competition caution of the night at lap 28. I expect we'll see every driver on pit road as, yep, Mark Nelson is going to lead them in. Nicole is staying out. Looks like she's going to get her waiver out back to the lead lap. As is Double D. This is a very long, slow pit road. This is one of the easiest pit roads to get a speeding penalty on. Mark Nelson hits his pit stall. Richie in his. Matt stuck in the middle between them. Kyle Holden way back there getting his. Holden is already on his way out. Mark Nelson is out. I have no idea. Kyle Holden's pit stop time was longer than Mark Nelson's. His time on pit lane about equal to Mark Nelson's, but he manages to come out of pit road up in second. It looks right, but man, it just seemed like an awfully fast stop for Kyle Holden. He does hold on to second. Drifty Richie now in third. Gerald Thanos Poole up into fourth. Mark the Man Dantuma in fifth. Matt Schlosser will be in sixth. No, he'll be in fifth. Dantuma dropping back. Everybody stacked up side by side, ready to go. Lights are out on the pace car. Mark Nelson choosing to restart on the high side. Pace car is in. Mark Nelson in control up top. Here they come out of turn 4 into the zone. Green flag back in the air. And Holden gets the better restart somehow. But Mark gets to drive it deeper into 1 and 2. Mark Nelson takes the lead. Kyle Holden right on his bumper in second. Richie Joplin in third. Matt Schlosser in fourth. Gerald Poole in fifth. Mark Dantuma in sixth, but Austin Ruskoff on the attack in seventh. Nicole Kriesel in eighth. She got loose out of 4. Double D has a run on her. Double D now up into 8th. Nicole in 9th. Mark Nelson out front, the top 4, all right there within 3/4 of a second. That top 4 were all very fast in the early going. Now that they're back out on fresh tires, I expect to see all 4 of them staying close together, battling it out. It may come down to which one of the 4 maintains their tires the best. Mark Nelson and Kyle Holden put a little gap between them and Richie. Just about half a second. Matt Schlosser staying with Richie as they close back in. Kyle Holden just set the fastest lap of the race, 28.61. And Austin Ruskoff is on pit road unexpectedly. No idea what happened with Austin. I don't see that he had any problems after the restart. But he is going to lose a lot of ground here. Austin is on pit road. Looks like right sides are up now. Left sides are up. He is down and away. Remember, the next caution, he will get waved back to the lead lap. Hey, good evening, Zolazoo. How are you, buddy? Holden still right on Mark Nelson's bumper. Richie trying to pull back up to him. Schlosser losing some ground. Mark Dantuma, Gerald Poole, nose to tail. Remember, Gerald started back in 9th, ran Dantuma down in the early going, looked like he had the speed. Never made the move, now restarted right behind Dantuma. Will he be able to get him on the long run and get up into the top 5? Double D now up into 7. Nicole Kriesel in 8. Austin Ruskoff now lapped down in ninth. Austin's got a lot of ground to make up here. However, he does have the freshest tires on track. And he is setting the fastest laps of anybody out there right now. Richie Joplin is pulled back up to the top two. Oh, Mark up into the wall. Mark gets his first Darlington stripe of the night. Holden takes the lead. Richie almost got the run for second. Taking another look at this one, was there contact? Now Mark just goes a little too deep into turn one. Richie kept trying to get the nose in, just did not have the momentum. And Kyle Holden comes from the back to take the lead for the first time. Man, you should have jumped in and ran this one tonight. Oh, Richie gets way loose out of turn four. Loses ground on the top two. Holden may have just kissed the wall. Can't tell if Kyle has any right side damage. He's right up by the wall. It's hard to get a good look at the right side of these cars, but you know, most of the field has picked up a stripe so far. Ouch. Mark Nelson gets another one there, but it did not look like Holden had any on the side. Richie Joplin in third now has Matt Schlosser to his bumper. And it looks like Richie's going to let Schlosser get by. Austin Ruskoff dropped down to the apron to let the leaders get by. Yeah, you really should have jumped into this one, buddy. Looked like Holden may have got a stripe on that one. I can tell you the sheet metal on the right side of every one of these cars is going to need replaced come tomorrow. Matt Schlosser now in third, trying to run down the top two. His pace at the moment about even with them. But Kyle Holden is starting to put some space between him and Mark Nelson. We have seen these two battle it out the last few weeks. Mark Nelson has a tendency to let Kyle get away in the early going, run him down later on. Will he be able to do it tonight? Mark is the defending champ. Can he pull off becoming the All-Star here tonight? Lap traffic going to come back into play for the leaders. Double D just ahead. Double D dropping low. Holden gets by quickly. Mark gets back up on track. Donald slides in right behind. Matt Schlosser in third has now lost ground to the top two. He's almost 2 seconds back. Richie still right there with him. It's a big surprise to see Richie losing ground to the top two here. We've seen Richie win here multiple times in the past. Kyle Holden is starting to pull away from Mark Nelson. Just over 0.6 of a second behind now. Matt Schlosser in third. Richie's in the wall. Just gave it a little bit of a kiss there in 3 and 4. Mark Dantuma back in 5th, has put a gap between him and Gerald Poole in 6th. Double D back in 7th, Nicole Kriesel in 8th, Austin Ruskoff in 9th. He was charging around this track after that unscheduled stop, but it looks like now he continues to lose some ground. Matt Schlosser and Richie Joplin still close together on track, sitting in 3rd and 4th. They are losing ground to the top two, but they are still right there beside each other. This battle could heat back up at any moment. Mark Dantuma back in 5th. Gerald Poole back in 6th, trying to pull back up to Dantuma. Kyle Holden has moved out to a 1.2 second lead over Mark Nelson. Now remember, we still have 2 more random competition cautions. Nobody knows when they will hit. Gotta hand it to the drivers, though. We have not seen a crash on track. The closest thing we have seen was Austin Ruskoff's incident earlier in the race, where he got loose coming out of the turn and slammed the inside wall. Other than that, and Mark Nelson just giving the wall a little kiss as Holden took the lead. Nothing major has happened on track. All the drivers doing a great job. With this new car and these new tires, the time fall off isn't as big as it used to be in all the older cars. And there is comp caution number 2. Lap 64, the second comp caution of the night. Just past the halfway point. Remember that final competition caution will come between 20 and 10 laps to go. And we will see everybody in for 4 tires and fuel. Here they come down pit road. Austin Roscoff, Nicole Creasel, and Double D will get waved back to the lead lap. Kyle Holden hits his pit stall. Mark Nelson hits his. Matt hits his. Richie Joplin now in. And here they come. Mark Nelson wins the race off. Kyle Holden will come out in second. Schlosser in third. Richie Joplin coming out in fourth. Dan Tuma in fifth. Several drivers, as we mentioned, get waved back to the lead lap. Gerald Poole just completing his stop. Austin Ruskoff currently in sixth, still needs to come to pit road. Gerald Poole in seventh, should move back up into sixth once Ruskoff comes to pit road. Gerald Poole had an extended pit stop. Looks like he got a speeding penalty. Nicole Creasel back to 8th. Double D is still on pit road. Now on his way back out as Ruskoff comes in. And don't forget, folks, right after this one, we're going to Charlotte for the SMRX Series. As we saw all last season and the start of this season, and with the much bigger field this season, things have been very exciting. Make sure you're following on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. We have a lot of YouTube shorts coming out this week. And a lot have come out over the last 4 or 5 days. We're even going to try and release extra shorts over the next few days. Here we go. Pace car is in. Kyle Holden on the bottom. Mark Nelson up top in control. Green flag back in the air. Holden gets the better start again. But last time Mark beat him through 1 and 2. Can he do it again? Holden keeps his foot in it. And Holden is loose out of 2. Holden got big loose. Richie Joplin sneaks by. That was a wild start. Kyle Holden has fallen all the way to 8th. Let's take another look at that. Taking a look at this one from the blimp. Keep an eye on Richie Joplin on the high side. There you see they get off the line. This time Holden manages to hold on to the lead. Richie drops to the bottom. Then in the middle, Kyle dips down and gets loose. Mark checks up. Richie keeps his foot in it. Schlosser follows him through. Wow. And watch Kyle Holden there on the bottom. Just big loose out of the turn. Now Kyle Holden did not qualify. He started the race in 8th on this restart. With that incident, he dropped all the way back to 9th. Has already gone past Ruskov into 8th. Can he make his way back to the front? And remember, we still have one more competition caution as Double D is in the wall. Holden gets by to take 6th. Still have one more competition caution in the last 20 laps of the race. Kyle still has a lot of time to get back to the front. Meanwhile, Richie Joplin, Mark Nelson, Matt Schlosser, the top 3. Kyle at the moment 4.1 seconds behind the leader, but he is right on Mark Dantuma's bumper. Into the turn, just drops to the bottom and drives it by Mark Dantuma. Holden just set the fastest lap of the night, 28.55, as he now starts to run down Gerald Poole. Richie Joplin, Mark Nelson, Matt Schlosser, all staying right there together. Nicole Kriesel has unexpectedly come to pit road. Richie put a little space between him and Mark. We've seen this before. Mark will run him down later in the run. Kyle Holden less than half a second behind Gerald, and about 3.5 seconds behind Richie at the moment. Gerald drops to the bottom, just lets Holden have it. Kyle Holden now to fourth. Gerald Poole hangs on to the top 5 in fifth. Matt Schlosser just 3.25 seconds ahead of Kyle Holden. These top 3 had better pick the pace up. Nicole is back on track for fresh tires. The top 3 all within 1/4 second of each other as Mark Nelson's looking for the lead again. Remember last time these two did battle, we saw a lot of door banging, and here we go again. Schlosser had a run to the outside, almost took second. Oh, Mark grabbed the wall out of turn 2, but he maintains momentum to keep Matt behind him for the moment. Richie, meanwhile, opens up a 6/10 of a second lead, and Kyle Holden inches closer. He is now 1.5 seconds back. I think Schlosser might have kissed the wall a moment ago. Saw quite a bit of smoke as he came out of the turn. Kyle Holden now just 1.1 seconds back from Matt, and just 2.25 seconds out of the lead. Mark Nelson has reeled Richie Joplin back in. However, Kyle Holden has had to use up a lot of tire to run these guys down. How much will he have left when he gets to them? And it looks like Schlosser has some damage on the front of his car. Darlington is a track you really need every bit of aero you can get. He has some damage on the splitter and the grill. Could be impacting, likely is impacting the handling and the speed of that car as Kyle Holden gets to his bumper. Holden shoots it to the bottom. Kyle Holden now in third. Mark Nelson still sitting in second, has not tried to make the move again on Richie. Kyle Holden 1.7 seconds back and closing in. You gotta hand it to him. He gets loose on the restart, gathers it up, and goes from the lead back to ninth, and then charges his way back to third, and he ain't done yet. And caution is out. And I do believe this will be the final competition caution, about 10 laps early. Well, they did say the 3 cautions would be random. All the drivers will go to pit road. Then we're going to try and get a word with Kyle Holden. Here they come, and man, inches apart coming in, practically bumping each other down pit road. Don't forget, one more race to go tonight. SMRX Series at Charlotte. No racing tomorrow, but we do have a bit of a surprise Tuesday night. XCal is back. The street stocks are at USA. Wednesday night, C12 street stocks are also back on track. And a lot more to come. Plus the HTSAI Community Convoy tomorrow afternoon. And we may try and give you guys a little treat tomorrow night. Kyle Holden comes out second behind Richie. Let's get a word. Hey Kyle, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, what's going on, Doug?
Hey, they told you it was a race, not a drift competition, right?
Yeah, I think so, but, we just wanted to test it out, see how it did out there.
Trying to pick up the style points, I see.
Exactly. We forgot about cold tires, and we just got stuck underneath Mark, and it just took us for a ride. Luckily, we were able to save it, though.
Well, you were able to save it, and one heck of a charge back from 9th place back to 3rd. Now the final caution is complete. Obviously, after watching that charge, you really don't have much to worry about here.
We'll see. Maybe we'll spin again here now that we're starting on the bottom again, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, man, good luck. One heck of a comeback, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Well, Kyle Holden ready to go and learned his lesson about the cold tires. As we mentioned, extra racing coming this week. We'll have street stocks Tuesday and Wednesday night. Tuesday night, XCal is back. Wednesday night, C12 Motorsports also on track. And they are going off-roading Wednesday night. I can't wait. They are going to Crandon. Man, it's going to be a fun week of racing. Guys, make sure you don't miss a moment of it. Here we go. Out of turn 4, Richie up top, in control. Green flag back in the air. The outside line looks like it did not get going. Gerald Poole has dropped back to 5th. Richie Joplin quickly claims the lead. Holden on his bumper. Mark Nelson, Matt Schlosser battle for 3rd. Mark kisses the wall. Mark Dantuma appears to have had a problem on that last caution. He's drifted back to 9th. Double D now up into 7th. Ruskoff in 6th. Oh, Ruskoff off the wall. Gerald also off the wall. See if we can see what happened. Gerald bounces off the wall the same moment Austin does. Both drivers manage to save it. A couple of very, very close calls on the restart. Gerald still holding on to 5th place. The man, a rough final restart here as he restarted up in 3rd. Well, Holman managed to make the first lap on cold tires without going drifting. 25 laps to go. Kyle in 2nd. Matt Schlosser in 3rd. Mark Nelson in 4th. But Richie Joplin still at the front. Kyle all over Richie's back bumper here. Matt Schlosser, Mark Nelson about a half second behind. Gerald Poole definitely pushing that car to the limit. He just set his fastest lap of the night as he tries to reel him in. Mark Dantuma back in 6th. Mark has definitely had a rough season, mostly due to the fact he's been back in the Ford a lot. We saw last season he switched to the Chevy for most of the season and charged repeatedly through the field. As we've got a battle, not much of a battle, Kyle Holden has taken the lead. Take another look at this one. Here they come out of the turn. Kyle gets a big run. Schlosser got loose and dropped to the bottom. Kyle Holden just sends it deep into the turn, makes it stick, and comes out of turn 4 with the lead. Richie now in 2nd as Schlosser on his bumper. Mark Nelson back there in 4th. $20 laps to go. Still, anything can happen at Darlington. Kyle Holden about 4/10 over Richie Joplin. Matt Schlosser, Mark Nelson still stacked up nose to tail. You know what's funny? We've seen every other car in the field get their Darlington stripe. We didn't see Kyle get it yet, but we did see him get big loose on that last restart. Holden starting to try and pull a little bit of a gap. Richie giving her all she's got, trying to stay close. But after seeing the comeback charge by Kyle Holden, it is going to be tough for these three guys back behind to run him back down and take the lead. Mark Nelson still lurking in fourth, though. We've seen Mark and Kyle go back and forth all season. Could see it again here tonight. And the caution is out. Apparently they're throwing another competition caution. Well, this is definitely going to throw everything for a loop. Does not look like anybody had an incident on this one either. So we will see them all back on pit road. 4 fresh Goodyears and 1 last drive. We'll try and get a word with Richie Joplin. And here comes Kyle Holden. Remember, he didn't qualify, so his pit stall is toward the back. Richie into his stall. Right sides up on everybody. Kyle Holden, right sides only for Kyle Holden. Right sides only for Gerald Poole. 4 tires for everybody else. See if we can get a quick word with Richie. Richie, man, one heck of a run tonight, but things just got really interesting. 2 of the drivers ahead of you took right sides only.
Well, Kyle's fast, so I like watching his line and learn from him. It's interesting. Interesting strategy I would never thought about, right sides at Darlington. I'm having a lot of fun, actually. I mean, me, Mark, Kyle, and Matt up there. I've never raced with Matt before, and he's a good little racer. I'm just having a lot of fun tonight.
Well, it definitely looks like it. Looks like you guys are having a blast and battling it out there. But now that you know, a couple of these guys are on right sides only. Nicole is on old tires. That's going to make this restart a bit wild.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. That's why we got 3 fast repairs, so we're restack and restart it.
All right, buddy. Good luck. You're about to go green.
I appreciate it, Doug.
Well, things just got even more interesting. Nicole, that's what she said. Creasel up front, last took tires, lap 75. Kyle Holden right next to her, right sides only. Same with Gerald Poole in the 9. Everybody from Richie Joplin on back, 4 tires. I don't know what's going to happen next, folks, but I got to say, it's awesome to see Nicole up front, and I hope she wins the whole dang thing. Here we go. They head to the zone. Green flag is in the air. Nicole has a little wheel spin on the start. And it looks like she dropped to the apron to let everybody by. Kyle quickly takes the lead. Thanos out of shape. Gerald kicked her way out of shape on that restart. That right side tires only may have just bit a couple of these guys. Mark and Matt battling for fourth. Richie Joplin is running down Kyle Holden. Let's take a look real quick at the restart here. Gerald Poole underneath Richie. Richie gets a little bit of the wall. Gerald smacks the crap out of the wall. Manages to maintain speed, sends it deep into the turn. Matt gets right to his bumper. Wow, what a wild exchange. Austin Ruskoff has had a problem and towed it in. Oh, Austin way out of shape, coming out of two. Wow. You can see the engine just let go. Back it up just a little bit to see where Austin comes by Nicole. He gets into the wall in 3 and 4. As the battle is on ahead, Austin reeling everybody back in. Looking like he's going to have a good run. And then big loose. Out of 2 gets the outside wall, gets the inside wall. And you see the engine just lets go. Mark Nelson set the fastest lap last time by. He's now in 3rd. Kyle Holden still up front. Richie Joplin in 2nd. Mark Nelson in 3rd. Gerald Poole in 4th. Matt Schlosser currently in 5th. Mark D'Antuma in 6th. Nicole Kriesel in 7th. Double D has had problems. Oh, big hit out of turn 4. Double D's night was done. At least he could see enough to get it down onto pit road. Holden still out front, now has a 1.3 second lead, but Mark Nelson now to 2nd, and he is charging. Last time by, he was almost 0.2 of a second faster. Richie Joplin sitting in 3rd, Gerald Poole in 4th, Schlosser now back in 5th. Now the question is, can Mark get to Kyle Holden, and can he make the pass? 2 laps to go at Darlington. Holden on those right side tires only on that last stop. Still managing to pull away in a little bit of a gap. Mark Nelson in 2nd as they pick up the white flag. One more time around Holden's lead. Now 1.4 seconds over Mark Nelson. Richie Jomplin back in third. And into 3 and 4. Kyle Holden on right side tires only will win at Darlington. Mark Nelson coming home in second. Richie Jomplin finishes third. Let's talk to our top three. Richie, you put on one heck of a fight here tonight, man.
Yeah, I just didn't have nothing for him. Car got tight, pushed it too hard. My fault. I was going for the win. Oh well. Try it again later.
Well, definitely one heck of a run. One heck of a charge, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, Doug, and thank you for broadcasting this race. I had a lot of fun tonight.
Great job, buddy.
Yep.
Mark Nelson comes home in second. Mark, I'm still wondering how you didn't run him down. You took 4 tires, he took 2. I thought you for sure had him.
You know, for a moment there, I had a little bit of hope, but then I realized who I was chasing, and I mean, I won as far as I'm concerned. Second place is good enough.
Oh man, still an awesome night. You guys put on one heck of a show and one heck of a battle up there, and a great job, man. Congratulations.
Thanks, Doug. Those giraffes were out in mass tonight.
Oh, great job, buddy. Congrats.
Thanks, Doug.
And finally, our winner and the new BRR All-Star, Kyle Holden. Kyle, was it one of those situations where right sides just made the car better?
Yeah, I think I just wanted the car just a tad bit looser for those last 10 laps we were going to push, and I just didn't want to get tight at all, so I wanted to be loose, and that was the right call. We were able to pull away there.
Well, man, it definitely worked. I mean, you checked out, and after everything you went through tonight, that was just an awesome one. Congratulations. You're the new BRR All-Star.
Appreciate it, Doug. That was fun. Thanks for everyone for coming out.
Kyle Holden is the new All-Star. Hey, Wooly Buffalo, thank you so much for the sub. How are you doing tonight? All right, folks. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short break, but we will be back here shortly in about... Can't hardly read anymore. I'm going blind. Here in about 15 minutes. You guys have just enough time to run to the snack bar. Stick around, and we'll be back with the SMRX Series at Charlotte.